my intention, my vision, what I do day in and day out and live and breathe and eat is to empower women and to give women the right tools, the right skills, the right mindsets, help them heal from any heartbreak, from any trauma that they may have from the past, in their rising, in their evolving, in their self-actualizing. They can help a guy that is a good guy to become an amazing guy.
Welcome to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast by Lyon Creatives. I'm Svenja Lyon, and in each episode, I sit down with local business owners and entrepreneurs to share their stories, how they got started, what keeps them going, and what makes their business stand out. My goal? To help more amazing businesses be seen, supported, and celebrated. So grab your coffee, because this might just get creative. I'm Svenja Lyon, brand strategist, web designer, and founder of Lyon Creatives. I help service-based businesses get crystal clear on their message, build a brand that feels aligned, and create a website that actually converts. Today, I'm joined by Natalia Heart, a certified dating and relationship coach who helps highly intelligent, successful women shine everywhere in life except love until they finally get the ring. Natalia and I are diving into something every business owner feels right now. The marketing world shifts fast, platforms change, messaging evolves, and staying visible can feel like a moving target. So today we're talking about what it really takes to stay relevant, reach your niche audience, and build an online presence that truly reflects the business you've worked so hard to build. And of course, we're going to talk about love. Welcome, Natalia.
Thank you, Svenja. That's her name.
It's Svenja. Yes, yes.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. So, for listeners who may not know you, what inspired you to become a dating and relationship coach? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, a few things. The main thing, my own experience of being that woman, having everything in life, being very driven, type A, successful, owning a business, being an athlete, successful in every area of my life. But this particular area of love wasn't really clicking for me. I was attracting guys that were really, really good guys, but I wasn't really feeling it. And, it wasn't until the day that I met my now ex-husband that I realized what was going on. My funny as life is, my ex-husband was mirroring me or showing in my face every single thing I was doing that wasn't healthy. And it was a pretty painful experience to see how much he was hurting me, and at the same time seeing that I was doing the very same things to the great guys I had dated before him. And yes, so my story is not a story of me being the poor me. I was so nice.
Yeah.
I was not that nice to men. I really had no respect for men. Through doing the work, I realized that my core belief about men that I learned through my upbringing, I had a reason, was that all men were losers. So yes. And as you can imagine, having that inner belief and going through life trying to be happy in a relationship with a man, it doesn't really match. There is a big disconnect. So it was a great experience to marry my ex-husband, and he had the same belief toward women. So he was doing the same behaviors, the same ways of being that I was practicing on men. He was doing it. And so I made a big decision. I decided that I was going to learn how to be great in relationships, and I was going to do whatever it took to heal and to change my perspective, to change the way I was relating to men. And so that's what I did. Of course, I got divorced. He ended up cheating on me. So And that was something that I wasn't doing. That was something that was like,
Yeah.
he was a little bit worse than me, I would say.
Yeah.
But so that was my non-negotiable, like I'm out. And yeah, I did the work, and eventually, you know, I met my husband, my new husband, and we have been together for, I don't know, 17 years, something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yes. But my background is in psychology. I was trained as a psychologist in university. And then I have been a coach for the last 20 something years. So I have always been in the mental health industry, the self-development industry.
That's awesome. Well, so your niche is highly successful women. It's very specific and powerful. So how did you narrow it down to this niche?
Because it's the woman that I was back then. So I can relate a lot. I can see, you know, where they are and what they are struggling with in a very deep way. And so I can connect with them, and I can help them heal and learn the skills and the abilities to become successful in love in a way that really lands to them. Because there are specific challenges that women experience when they reach a level of success and independency.
So tell me about those challenges.
Well, the main challenge is that probably because they didn't have great role models growing up, they learned that in order to be loved, they had to perform. So in a very subtle way, they have this inner belief that they have to do in order to be loved. And the thing is that in romantic love, I coach women, heterosexual women. So I understand and I love all kinds of love, but this is kind of, you know, the kind of my client. These women, they want to be married to a man that is a provider, that is a caregiver, that is a supportive guy, that is, you know, that is in his masculine energy, that has his act together, that has a good job, that takes care of his health. So, and in order to attract a man like that, that is on his masculine energy, we have to land most of the time on our feminine energy. And the disconnect happens when if we learned at a very young age that we had to perform to gain love, we are automatically being in our masculine energy. So it's very difficult for these women to keep. They may attract a high value masculine energy man, but it's really, really difficult for him to stay with them. There is no polarity.
Okay. So do you think that what you just described is, if you compare it to like our age group and to now, like my daughters, they're 14 and 15, right? Growing up. Do you think there's a difference between how we grew up and how girls now grow up?
Absolutely. There is a big difference. Totally different. Totally big difference. The way I grew up, you know, I wasn't the center of my family. The center of my family was my mom and dad. And kids weren't as heard as they are now. Kids didn't have so much freedom. The way I grew up, I didn't have a choice over anything. I was doing what my parents were telling me to do. Nowadays, it's totally different. Kids, I think we went from our generation, because we were in a way so much treated as objects at some point. Now the pendulum went to the other side, where kids are the center of the family. And that's one of the biggest problems that young couples are having right now, because they get married and then they have kids, and when the kids come into the scene, they take over the whole relationship. And if the parents don't have a very strong foundation and they don't have the skills and the abilities to be able to keep cultivating their romantic relationship, it becomes all about the kids. And that's why there are so many couples getting divorced when the kids are 8, 9, or 15, 16.
Yeah.
Because they stay together for as long as it takes to bring up their kids. But the relationship itself wasn't nurtured as much as it should have been nurtured to have both. And we can have both. There is a way to do it. It just takes intentionality. It takes a certain level of self-awareness, consciousness, that is not taught in school. It's not taught, in our homes. It's something that that we are expected to know, but if we are not taught, and if we don't have an inner drive to learn about that, we are not going to be able to make it happen. Not because there is something wrong with that necessarily, just because the terrain, the context, the container is not nurtured for that.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see it the way I grew up and the way our kids grow up. And it's little things like, for example, our kids are very involved in track and field and cross country and all those things. And we are coaching. So we are like, my husband is now the president of the local rec team, and I'm the head coach for cross country and track. So we've been with them the whole, like, we've been their coaches, and like we go to all the meets, we go to all the events. And I like it. It's nothing that I do not like. But when I look back at how I grew up, first of all, I wasn't that involved in all those. I mean, yes, I did fencing, and I did actually start scuba diving when I was 12. But it was always something that I did, but I did this, but not my parents. Like even though my parents did scuba diving too, but that's when they were young. And my dad really loved it, and that's why he brought me into the scuba diving. But it was always me doing it or them playing tennis, for example, right? So it's not that we did it together or that they were coaching or that they were, involved the way we are involved now. So, it's funny because I was talking to my husband about that difference of how we grew up and how they grow up. And I can imagine that is also translated into love and relationships, like how, the self-worth that you have as a woman is different now, I feel, than it was then.
Right.
Yeah.
It creates a sense of hyper-independency. And a sense of I can do it all, which is fantastic. But there is always a but. We can't have it all if we have the right tools and the right education and the right mindset.
Yes.
The fact that we can have it all, that the possibility is there, it doesn't mean that everybody can have it.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think there is a miscommunication right now, that the overall message is you can have it all, you deserve it all, like you are the greatest, and all that is great. It's fantastic. But it becomes toxic when it's misleading people.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the emotional maturity, you have to have the emotional intelligence, you have to have the drive and the desire, you have to have the personality that is growth oriented. There are so many components, the opportunities as well. There are so many components that play into that is not just saying yes, you can have it all, you are the best. I don't know, this is very controversial what I'm saying, so I hope I will it. But yes,
because it reflects to what you are saying to the children, to your children, right? That's what, like, you can do it all. You can.
I don't have children, so I don't feel really. I am not talking from my own personal experience. But I am around people with children, and I have nephews, and I can see how, there are certain things that the part that I see sometimes is not present is, yes, you don't have to go to your grandma's birthday. If you don't want to go, don't go. And it's fine, you don't have to go, stay home. But they don't necessarily express, the people that are not growing up in environments that are actually setting them up for success, because there are a lot of families that are telling them the whole story. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about the why it becomes dysfunctional. Because they don't say, yes, you have freedom, you don't have to go to your grandma's birthday. And keep in mind that if you don't go to your grandma's birthday, that is going to have consequences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's the part that I think is missing when I see, the dysfunctional ways of being in love. It's like, yes, go and devote your whole life to your career and become a C-suite executive, become a lawyer, use, all your 20s devoted to school, to becoming, and that is going to have consequences. I have a client who spent her whole 20s and the first few years of her 30s to grow her business. And she did great. She's a lovely woman, super smart, super driven. Her work ethic, all the masculine energy character traits are there. She did it all, and she created a 7 figures actually company.
Wow.
And at the same time, she met a guy and they started dating. But her focus kept being her business, growing my business. And to do that, she was doing certain things to her health that weren't really healthy, like not sleeping, like taking some kind of stimulants that were keeping her focused and working 16, 17, 18 hours a day, doing, certain things that didn't help with her health. And so fast forward now, they married and they immediately wanted to have kids. And unfortunately, she's not able to get pregnant. So now the last year, she has been through 3 rounds of IVF, and she's still. So that's the point that I think sometimes we don't see. That yes, we have all the freedom in the world. We are equals to men. We can do everything and anything we want. And there are consequences. In my program, I call them trade-offs. Let me tell you, Svenja, 100% of my clients never heard of this concept of trade-offs. That for everything we do, there is a trade-off.
Yep.
And if we are self-aware and we choose from a consciousness choice, being self-aware and saying, yes, this is what I'm choosing and I am okay with the consequences, that's fine. But these beautiful ladies that come to me, they feel cheated because they feel like they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They thought that because they went to college and they got great grades and they were great in sports and then they got a great job and they got promoted and then, they thought that when they decided, when they were under 30s, that they wanted to meet a great guy to create a family, that was going to happen like that.
Yeah.
They really didn't stop to think that it's not the area of love and relationships is not logic. It's not linear. It doesn't really work in the same way that our careers, our professions, our athleticism work.
Yes.
So I think that's probably the first thing that women need to understand is that it's a trade-off, and they need to know that and I guess my empowerment is don't wait until you think you are going to be ready, because it may be too late for your particular dream. Now, you can have what you want. There is no age or anything like that, but it's going to be different than what you think it's going to be. So
yes. So, yeah. Now that's very interesting. So if someone signs up for your program, how can they get started? Because sometimes I feel like it's hard for someone to really admit that they actually have a problem, because maybe, you think I'm not the problem, others are the problem, right? So how do you approach these women, or how do they get started?
They usually approach me. I don't really approach anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's such a delicate subject, and not something that it's not something that lands well. If I tell somebody, hey, you want to hire me? Because of what you just said, women carry a lot of shame in this area of love if it's not working. When the area of love and relationships is not working, it's an area where we carry a lot of shame. So they, it's not easy for them to ask for help. It's not easy for them to open up. What they usually do is they numb themselves. They either devote themselves completely to their business, or they are traveling all the time, or they are dedicated to their nephews and nieces. They over-exercise. They run a marathon every month. You know how it goes. So we numb in any shape or form. We all have a different way we numb ourselves. So it's not something that I can just contact them and say, hey, I have this. So the way usually women find me is through a referral. Somebody that knows me, that has seen my videos on YouTube or my love summits, all the different ways that I promote my business, which is everywhere pretty much. And or they come to my trainings, my free trainings, or my interviews through podcasts. So, and they feel connected to what I said, and they are like, oh, there is nothing wrong with me, because there is nothing wrong with them. There was nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
I just got the wrong map. When we are children, we get a map for love. And if the map is taking you to Seattle and you want to go to New York, there is nothing wrong with us. It's that we just got the wrong map. And what matters the most is that we can learn a new map. So that's the most important thing for them to know, is that there is nothing wrong. There are a ton of women doing the work, and that it's totally doable. And once we start to really, really see our blind spots, the areas where we are blocking love unconsciously, that's when things start to shift really, really fast. So yes, no, I don't really approach women. I let them find me, and I make sure that I am visible as much as I can.
Yes. So you talked a little bit about finding the new map.
Yes.
So how is your how do you do that? How do you make women find a new map?
It's a process. It's a process. I have a program. It's called the Epic Love Accelerator. So the way it works is we meet once a week for a transformational coaching session where we really, really work on what is going on. In all these blind spots that I keep naming, blind spots are ways of being that are not giving us what we want, but we cannot see it. We cannot see that that's what's blocking us. And so we brought them to light, and I teach them a way that actually sets them up for winning, a good map. And also they get training videos. I have a whole library of training videos. And so they learn at home as well in between sessions. And when they get stuck on their progress, they can contact me through an app on the phone, and I coach them on a daily basis. So we really, really rewire their brain, we rewire their heart, and I also teach them exactly how to talk, exactly how to communicate with a man, also how to listen to a man, what creates emotional attraction. All of these points are really, really important, things that women that hire me don't know. They, to give you an example, most women, they believe that they have to be super pretty, or they have to be sexy, or some other kind of women believe they have to be very smart, they have to read all the papers, and they have to know everything to catch a man. Some other women believe that they have to be very spiritual and like all, connected to God and spirit, and that's what's gonna get them a guy. And actually, all those three ways of creating attraction work in a very short, work for a very short period of time. They don't really create long-lasting attraction. The only thing that creates long-lasting attraction with a man, or with anybody for the matter, is emotional attraction. You have to be emotionally connected, and in order to be able to create emotional connectedness and attraction, that pull with a man, we have to learn how to be emotionally mature, self-aware, and conscious and intentional. So all these are the things that we work through the program. It's a deep program. It's not tips or tricks. Although I give them tips or tricks, they're so much fun. But tricks or tips on top of a barren land don't really sprout and bloom. So first we need to make sure that the container, the land, the dirt is nurtured and is full of life in order to grow something.
Yes, no, that's it's very interesting because that you never really think about those things, if you're and I'm sure that applies to anyone, and I'm pretty sure that applies to men the same way as it does to women.
And men need I had once, I was at this event, and I we were all introducing ourselves. This was when I just started doing it. So I stand up and I say, hey, I'm Natalia Heart. I am a dating and relationship coach for women. And I hear a woman from the other side of the room saying, why women? Men need this. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do with this smile? I was so new at doing this. And so yes, since then, men need this, maybe more than women. The thing with men is because of the way they are, and this is a big part of my program. I teach my clients how men are, because we are equals, but we are very different. And if we don't know this, we are going to treat men as we treat our girlfriends, and that really doesn't work with men. So, because the way men are, they don't ask for help. They don't ask for help. It's in their nature. So, yes, men need help. There are a lot of great men. I was talking to one on Saturday on my run. Great guy. He has been dating for a few years now, and he's incredible. But he is clueless. Totally clueless on how to woo a woman.
Yeah.
So there are so many men out there on the dating apps that are great guys, but they don't have ideas. So they hurt us. They come across as the dark triad, the narcissistic, Machiavellic, and psychopaths, the guys that we have to stay away from, which is only 10% of the population. So if you think about it, it's a very small percentage. But they show up like that because they have no clue. So yes, they could benefit a lot from it, but 80% of the self-development, psychology industry is women.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my hope, my intention, my vision, what I do day in and day out and live and breathe and eat is to empower women and to give women the right tools, the right skills, the right mindsets, help them heal from any heartbreak, from any trauma that they may have from the past. So in their rising, in their evolving, in their self-actualizing, they can help a guy that is a good guy to become an amazing guy.
So in the intake form on my website, you filled out that that marketing is changing fast. And so what shifts have you personally felt in your business? Because it's like a very specific, what changes have you seen? Like what is different?
Well, for example, 10 years ago, let's say 10, 12, 13 years ago, there was a marketing model that worked great in my industry. You could go from 0 clients to being a 6-figure, 7-figure earner in a year using this model. And the model is creating summits, online summits. It's a collaboration with other colleagues, and we were getting together and interviewing other colleagues in this area, very niche, in the area of love, dating, and relationships. And every single expert will promote the summit with their email list, and that will give the host of the summit thousands and thousands of emails that were niche, were the woman that I wanted to talk. And so that worked great for years. It doesn't work anymore. Because nowadays is the age of over-information.
Yeah.
People are tired of sitting on summits and learning and learning and learning. It's just you with ChatGPT, with, the information is all there. So that particular model that was really successful back then, it doesn't work nowadays. There were coaches that were making, again, 7 figures teaching this model, how to create summits, because it's very complicated. And now they close their businesses. They are not doing
Wow.
it anymore because it doesn't work. So that is one example. Before, another thing that I see has changed a lot is the YouTube, for example. I had a lot of colleagues relying on YouTube and doing affiliate links. They were interviewing other people and selling their other people's programs and getting a cut out of that. And that doesn't work either right now. It's just before you'll have, like right now I am enrolling for my group coaching program. In the past, it would take one appearance in one of these YouTube channels for me to fill up my program.
Yeah.
It's not happening anymore. I'm being very honest here.
Yeah.
Really what is happening. So things have changed dramatically. It's the consumer, it's a lot more wise right now. And I believe the consumer has been abused. All the clickbait, all the over-promising. I had colleagues promising find love in 90 days. That is a lie.
It is.
It is a lie.
Yes.
My clients, they learn the skills and the abilities and the mindsets, and they learn how to do the work and they heal. But I cannot promise them that they are going to find their man in 90 days. I had to be a psychopath to say that something like that. But that has happened a lot. And so people are more burned out. People are more wise. People understand now that buying do-it-yourself program really doesn't yield to the results they expect.
Yeah.
Not because those programs are bad, but because most people, it's like buying those programs is like buying a membership to a gym. It works if you show up every day on your own and you do what you have to do. And unfortunately, we are so busy nowadays that it's not, people buy the programs and most of them don't even finish them.
There's no accountability. Yeah.
Accountability is what makes any goal to succeed.
Yes. Yeah, and that's in my opinion, it's in any space in your whole life. Like that's love, yes. With the kids, yes.
With
running,
with visibility,
marketing, yes. You have to be consistent.
Here it's not only for my business; it's for every business. I have had all kinds of businesses. I mean, I am above all an entrepreneur. I have. I had my first business when I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
It has been a long life, my whole life I have been a business owner. So, yes, it's for all of it. So things are changing, and the big platforms, for example, Instagram. When Instagram showed up, like 10 years ago, I don't know how long ago, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, it really needed creators. It needed people to pour their heart and souls into the app to attract more people. They were in building mode, so they were very lenient with organically let people grow. Now in 2025, 2026, that's not happening. They are an established business and they want us to pay for ads. And even that has to be done in a very particular way. So things are really, really, it's really, really, it's like what I said, tying it up to what I said at the beginning, that kids nowadays are being brought up with the idea of you can have it all, you can do it all. And yes, it's the easiest time in history for a woman to have her own business. Also to have the men that they want. So the possibility, the funnel is there, but to get it takes to do the inner work. It takes to do the healing. It takes to put the work day in and day out. It takes to really, really touch up into your community. It doesn't happen in isolation. And that is something that, going back to my industry, dating apps, they have isolated women even more. Because it gives you the false feeling that, I am doing something. I am talking to all these guys. But 90% of the guys that are on the dating apps are not going to be your guy. And the other 10% that are the guys that are ready and the right guy, 100% of the women are going after. So no wonder it's a big mess. So that is the paradox of the modern world, I think. That we have access to everything. And if we live in the Western world, because still in some countries women are not as free as we are, unfortunately, but the USA and, the Western world, we have access to everything. We have freedom, we have sovereignty, the world is our oyster. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to get it because you are you.
Yes. No, you have, like with everything, you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in building a business. You have to put the work in finding love. You have to, if you want to run a marathon, an ultra marathon, you have to put the work in. Otherwise, you will not get there. And this relates to running as well. I mean, yes, everybody can run. Everybody can do that. But in order to achieve different goals, and it doesn't always have to be a marathon, it can also be a 5K, you have to put the work in order to do that. So if you could give every successful woman one piece of advice about love, what would it be?
Oh, one piece of advice.
Yes, one.
Love. I don't want to be too cheesy. It's so easy to be cheesy. Love is who you are. And, I'll go with this. I love this. I keep it and I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It's going to be cheesy, but everything you teach, you are learning. Teach only love and learn that love is yours and you are love.
Oh, that is
from the Course in Miracles.
I love it. That was very, very nice. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalia. That was a very nice conversation, and I really love what you do. And I think it's powerful and very inspiring. And so thank you for sharing your insights today. And what I love about conversations like this is that they remind every business owner that clarity, but also structure is very important. And that is in branding, in running, in exercise, as well as in relationships. And it's the foundation where everything grows from. So if you're listening and you're interested in learning more about Natalia, or if you would like to connect with Natalia, you can explore her coaching for high-achieving women at nataliaheart.com. And you can follow her on all the channels, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, at Natalia Heart Coaching. And if your brand or website needs a strategic refresh, or you're ready for a more aligned, elevated online presence, you can find me at lioncreatives.com or connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn at Lion Creatives. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay creative, stay curious, and keep building a brand that feels like you. Thank you, Natalia. Thanks for listening to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast by Lion Creatives. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show and share it with someone who loves discovering local businesses and creative entrepreneurs. You can learn more about my work at lioncreatives.com or find me on Instagram, lion.creatives, and LinkedIn at Lion Creatives. Until next time, keep showing up, keep creating, and keep getting seen.